Welcome back. Oh my god. Welcome back to the Exposure Podcast. I'm here today with Oh,
You got it.
welcome back to the Exposure Podcast. I'm here today with Maddison Frost, and we're going to be talking about our experiences with periods and contraception.
Yeah.
Okay, how are you, Maddison?
I'm great today. Are you okay?
I'm good today too. So we're going to start off with every girl's favourite time of the month, periods.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first period?
I do. I was either 13 or 14. I can't exactly remember. And
13 or 14?
yeah,
Oh my god.
I was quite late.
Jesus.
So I must have been in like year 9. And I'd had like weird bleeding for like a couple of weeks. My mum was hinting at me like, you're going to get your period soon. And I was like, no. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning. I wake up, I go to the toilet. There's just blood.
Was it a lot?
Yeah. And I was going, Mum. And she came in, she was like, I've got your period, Maddison. Here's a pad. And showed me how to put it on. And that was that really. And then it just continued from there.
Did you know there's a name for your first period?
What?
I actually researched it yesterday.
What is it?
I don't know. There's either two ways to pronounce it. It's menarche, but it's got an E on the end.
Menarche.
Menarche. And then I thought menage.
Nicki Minaj.
Menage. But yeah, it's got. But then I thought it was kind of ironic because it says men in it, even though it's a period. Do you know what I mean?
True.
But anyway, that was just a fun fact.
Who knows?
Because it related to what you were talking about. Anyway. And then my next question was, how old were you? But you was 13 or 14. I was, I think I was in year 7. I think it was the summer before year 7.
So you were early.
Well, I thought that was a normal age. I always thought I was older.
I thought I was old.
You was quite lucky, to be fair. No, I started it the summer before year 7. And I remember, but I didn't have it like really bad and like really heavy.
Yeah.
I remember my nan was in hospital and we went to see her.
Oh.
And no, it's not even like, I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, cry me a river. But like, no, it is just a long story. So we all went to see her in hospital and like my aunts and my uncle. And she was like fine, she just had an operation.
Yeah.
And I had like bits of blood in my knickers and I was just like sort of like, I don't know what this is. Even though it's slightly obvious what it is, but I was like, I don't know what this is. So I just sort of ignored it and then I thought I was going to die. And then I went home and then I looked and it got worse. And then I started crying because I thought I was dying. And then I got my mum and I was like crying to my mum. I was like, I don't know what this is. Like, what is it? And then she put the shower and she put her hand on, she went, Ellie, you're becoming a woman. She was like, you started your period. I was like, and I just started crying. I was like, no,
Aww.
I don't want to grow up, Mum. I don't want to get old. And I was really, and then I thought I was going to die because I was getting older.
But you were like 11.
Yeah, I was 11. I thought my world came crashing down because I started my period. How old were you when you like used a tampon?
I've never used tampon. I've only ever used pads.
Okay, have you never tried?
No, too scared.
Yeah, I was going to a outdoor swimming pool and with my older cousin because she was a nanny at the time, and she was like, "Oh, like come down." Again, it was in the summer, but it was like. It was when I was still in school. I think it was when I was like going into year 10 or something.
Yeah.
And she was like, why don't you come down? Like, it's really nice weather. Come to the pool. And like, I've got the little kids and whatever. And like, it was the kids that she looked after that I really liked.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't because I'm on my period. She went, just put a tampon in. And I was like, I don't even know what a tampon is. Oh, I did. But like, I didn't really know what a tampon was. And then I went in my bathroom because you have like drawers. It's in a box now. Last time it was in drawers. And I was like thinking, okay, I've got the tampon, but it was one with the applicator,
Right.
where it basically goes like that with it.
Yeah.
And I sat in my bathroom downstairs, like on the toilet trying to do it, and then she was like telling me how she does it. She went, well, I sometimes like stand up, but like really you have to like just relax, otherwise it won't go in. So I was trying to do it and I couldn't do it. Now I know it's because I was putting it in the wrong plate, like in the wrong hole thing, like because you've sort of got to push it back all the way back,
right,
as far as you can go. Oh, sorry, as far as you can go, and then you like push it. But then if you don't push it up high enough, it doesn't go in properly, and then when you sit down you can feel it and it's not very comfy. But I remember my first time putting a tampon in properly was it was in the first lockdown, but it was sort of when like you could see people,
Oh yeah.
like nearer the end, and I was with one of my friends, and she she didn't help me put a tampon in, but like she guided me verbally, helped me verbally with what to do, and then I did it, and I was literally the proudest moment ever. But I don't use them. That was my story about my first usage of a tampon.
I've never used them. I'm too
scared.
You
can get toxic shock. Like you can, it's what is it? I can't think of it. It's sort of like you put it in, and if you leave it in for too long, or you buy ones that are basically like really cheap.
Yeah.
And there's obviously toxins in it because you're putting a toxin in your body, and if you leave it in for too long, it will obviously get into your blood flow, and then it can like give you like just make you really ill. And I was friends with a girl once, and that happened to her, and she was in hospital and she had to have an operation. But she also put her tampon in too far up and she couldn't get it out.
That's what I'm scared of.
I just
getting it lost,
and it's just a bit gross. I cannot. And like you have a little string hanging out of your moon. It's not very nice, and I just don't want that. Okay, what's your worst period story?
Okay, so mine was actually recently. So when I first started dating Ty, so back in August, when I was still on a pill, I knew it was coming because I was like, oh, it's like the break. And obviously I fell asleep and I didn't put a pad on. I just went to bed in my underwear.
Oh no!
But I was in like a thong, and then I woke up in the morning, everything's fine. This is back when we were like freshly dating, so it'd been like a month.
You wasn't even his girlfriend yet.
No. So, and then he wakes up in the morning. He goes, babe, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm half asleep. He's like, you bled on a bed. I shut up. I was like, shit.
Was it like everywhere?
It was just like in patches where I moved in my sleep. And I was like, I'm so sorry. He was like, it's fine.
How did he react?
He was completely calm about it. I was actually sitting there panicking. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I'll wash the sheets. He was like, it's fine. And I was like, I haven't got
Did he get on his mattress?
No, just the sheet.
Okay, that's good.
And I was like, I haven't even got anything. He was like, my mum's got some. Go get some pads. And I was like, I was actually sitting there like, I was shocked. I was scared he was going to get really angry at me. Because I was like, just bled all over his bed.
I feel like boys are always more understanding than you sort of realise.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I'll wash the sheets, I'll do everything for you. And he was like, it's fine.
What, and you just started like your period then?
Yeah.
It's bad when you started as well.
So I was just like, I'm so sorry. And then we was meant to be taking his little sisters out to the cinema that day as well. So I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
I'll pay for the cinema.
And then I just got some pads from his mum, and then that was that really. But apart from that, I've never had like a bad horror story. I guess I've always been lucky. Like I've never been out and been like, shit, I'm on my period. I think it's because when I started going on the pill, I knew when they were coming.
Yeah, because you have the combined pill, because you have to like do it around your period.
And then even before then, they were quite regular. I'd be able to tell. I'd get like a week before. I'd start getting cramps and be like, hey, it's going to come next week. So I guess I was quite lucky that I never had that situation apart from when I first started dating Ty. But
I guess I don't want to say he's he was a keeper. Like he didn't react, like he wasn't even your boyfriend yet, and he was quite nice about it.
I was literally panicking. Like even if you ask him, like I was sitting there like, I'm really sorry. Like I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. And he was like,
didn't mean to. You're gonna bleed on purpose.
He's like, Maddie, it's literally fine. Just go sort yourself out in the bathroom.
I don't think I have a horror story. I think I have like a bad story when I was on it, but like it wasn't necessarily with blood.
Yeah. It
was in like year 9, and basically every Christmas my nan buys me knickers. Mostly ones that you can wear on your period.
Lovely. Nanny knickers.
Yeah. Well, no, not nanny knickers, but they're from like this year she got me River Island ones, and they're really nice.
Oh.
But like that year they had like, there was Christmas themed knickers. And these specific, I literally remember exactly what they look. I don't own any of them now anymore. They was like, they covered your whole bum, and like they was really wide, so it was really good to put a pad on. And they had like reindeers on them, like in the line like this, in stripes. God. And then it was like orange and red and pink theme, and like bits of blue, like navy blue.
Yeah.
And I remember I didn't put shorts under my skirt that day. Me and like my class were walking to go to do music, because obviously like different buildings, whatever. So we went up to go in to the music department.
Yeah.
And my whole skirt flew up. So like,
and everyone saw your reindeer.
Yeah,
knickers.
and I remember what kid it was that was behind me. And I was just mortified, and I was just like, oh my God, he's just seen my reindeer knickers and my pad under my skirt. And it was just so embarrassing. I went upstairs and I was just like, if you act as if that happened, then like it will make it worse. I just pretend you didn't know, or like you don't care. So I was just like, God. So I just really tried to ignore it, and I was absolutely mortified. And I think more than, not even just him, I wasn't even bothered, it was just him. I think everyone saw, but he was right behind me because he held the door like after me, and I was just like, oh my God, no. He's just seen like my
reindeer knickers,
my reindeer pants, and it was horrible. I said like, do you think sanitary products should be free? And then I put this in brackets, but then now it's I don't know if I would relate it to this. I put, because you get free condoms in school.
Yeah,
but condoms aren't just for boys; they get given to girls. But then, like, it's the same sort of thing, like, but then you do get free sanitary products in school if you ask for it.
Yeah, but it's only in school.
But they're really bad.
They're bad. Yeah, at the end of the day, you're choosing to have sex. You don't choose to have a period.
True.
That's the very most cliche saying ever.
But
it is true. Like, if you was to walk into a pharmacy and be like, because you know how you get a condom card?
Yeah.
You could walk in and be like, can I have some condoms? Why can't I walk in and be like, can I have some pads?
And other contraceptions free as well. Pads?
Yeah.
I don't know, because like you could say like, could pads be free? But then I guess contraception and stuff, they are preventing. I don't know.
I think they should.
They should be free, but I'm just trying to think of like what someone would argue.
I think even if they don't become totally free, I think they should become a lot cheaper.
Well, yeah. What they did, I don't know when they did it, but they took tax off of pads and tampons so that they would be cheaper. But then I think that's just because tax is what the government make money on, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they sort of took it off so the government weren't making money off of sanitary products.
But they're still expensive, like £4 for a pack.
To be fair, I don't buy them. My mum buys them, so
I think they should be
a lot cheaper than that.
Or you should get a card to go get free pads and tampons.
Or they should give out. I remember in school, because in college they're not very good. Like the tampons are literally like that big, I tried to use one once. Bearing in mind I don't really use tampons, and it was really traumatizing. And it was not. Well, it is funny, but it's not. Like I was actually scared.
Yeah.
And especially when you're not expecting you to come on, you don't necessarily have anything on you.
Yeah. Or
like it will just catch you off one day and then you haven't got anything, or like you gave out your last one that day because some other girl needed it
and you didn't know you needed it,
and you didn't know, and then you're like, I don't have it now, I've just given it to someone else. Like I can't exactly take it off of them and use it for myself. Can I
ask for it back?
Can I have that pad back, please, that I gave you earlier? I really need it right now. That would be disgusting. But in my school, in the sixth form department, they had like the reception, and then in the back door they let you like go in there to get pads, and it was like pad heaven. Like they had like a massive like shelf full of pads, not even cheap ones. It was like always nice ones. I took loads at home because they just said like, oh yeah, like take whatever you need. So I just took so many and I took them home, and I was just like, Mum, I've stocked up, I've got loads of pads to last a lifetime. And that's another thing, like obviously it is only monthly, but for some people they have to buy like 2 packs.
Yeah,
so
because
if they're like £4, that's like £8 a month.
Just to
which for some people isn't enough, but isn't a lot. But like I can't help a period. Like what do you want me to do?
It just happens naturally.
Exactly. Oh yeah, and then in primary school, did you learn much about periods?
Not at all. Like
I didn't.
I knew I was going to get one day, but I did not know pretty much what it was until I got it. I was like, oh, one day I'm going to start bleeding out of my vagina and I'm going to get cramps. That was literally all I knew until I got it, and I was like, oh, I've got it now. Because all my friends, when I was in school, all my friends got it before me. I was literally like the last one.
Yeah.
And they was all like, and they was all telling me all stuff, and I was like, I didn't know all of this information. They were like, yes, there's pads, there's tampons, there's this, there's that. Because in primary school, because the thing is, people say it should be taught in secondary school, but some people get the period when they're in primary school.
When I was writing these questions, I was thinking, should I put secondary school? But like, I started mine.
Was you in primary school?
Yeah, like just after leaving primary school.
Literally.
And so many other people in my primary school had started their period, and I was like, what is your period? Like, I don't understand. And like, I think the thing is, I learned more like now thinking about it, because it just popped up to my head, I knew what a wet dream was before I knew what my period was.
I knew what sex was before I knew what a period was.
Yeah.
So, like, I knew...
I'm not going to be going around having sex when I'm 10.
Yeah, like in primary school, I knew how to have sex and what sex was, but I didn't know what period was. That sounds really bad, but it's just true.
Yeah, like, I think with stuff like that, maybe, obviously still teach it, because, like, I don't really know... I mean, does it make a difference? I feel like if I didn't learn it, then, like, it wouldn't have affected me that much, because I didn't go around having sex with people when I was 10. And if you do, that's a bit weird, and that's not even the consent age.
I think it is weird that they teach you about sex before they teach you about normal things that happen to your body.
Yeah, well, then I was thinking as well, like, they could turn around and argue saying, yes, well, it is just a bit unpleasant to tell a bunch of, like, children. Well, if it's that much of a problem, maybe take all of the boys out of the room.
Yeah.
Even though I think they should learn too, but if it's that much of an issue, take them out of the room and then have just girls, like have an assembly, like talking about periods with girls, all of the girls in the primary school. You have a massive assembly, someone comes in from like the NHS or something, and then, or just anyone, because every woman gets a period, and then explain periods and say like, well, this is what you can use, and then like show like an example of them putting a pad on a pair of underwear, obviously not putting a tampon in, or no, actually a diagram. Of a tampon, like, because I think for me that would have helped me a lot instead of thinking I was dying when I got my period, because I literally thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
But it was just a period, but I didn't know that.
I knew what it was. I was just like...
I think I heard the word period, but like, I don't know. You just didn't know. Like, I didn't have a clue.
That's the thing.
I mean, I say that, but maybe they are teaching them now, because I haven't been in primary school for about 10 years.
That is very true. We did leave primary school. How old are we? 19. You leave primary school when you're 11.
I thought you said, how old were we? 19. No, didn't leave primary school.
So 8 years ago we left primary school.
It was 2014, because we started year 7 in 2014.
So that 7 years ago.
Is it?
No, 8.
8 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 years ago. Oh my god. And my next question, I don't really know, because I spoke to people about it, and they said like they get what I meant, but it could be worded differently.
Right.
I didn't change it. I just left it because you'd probably understand.
Okay.
Why do you feel periods can't be talked about, in brackets, stigma?
Because of men.
Why?
Because men don't know what it's like, so they're like, oh yeah. Like, have you ever been kicked in the balls? It really hurts. Oh yeah. Oh, you're saying a period cramp, get kicked in the balls. No, Justin, it does not work like that. Justin, I just, because men think like, oh, it's dirty, it's disgusting, like you're literally bleeding out.
Yeah.
Like, if you was to have sex with a guy and you started bleeding, if he was like an actual dickhead, he would literally be like, what the fuck, you're disgusting, like get out of my house.
That's what scared me about with my boyfriend and with you. That's another thing actually that you should learn in school, is that you bleed and it hurts. Because
it hurts.
I didn't know that, and then when I thought it wasn't normal, when I was like, oh my god, why am I bleeding? Like, again, am I gonna die? I don't know why, because I was like, I'm not on my period right now.
Yeah.
But he knew about it and not me, and then he was just like, it's fine, like don't worry. So it made me feel a lot better, obviously.
Oh, I was the opposite. I knew that I was gonna bleed, so I was kind of prepared for it. He was shook as shit. I knew it was fine.
He was what?
He was shook.
Oh, he's scared. Look, when you lost your...
Yeah.
Oh.
What was I saying?
He bled and he was scared.
Yeah. I think boys don't know about vaginas, and because a lot of schools are like male dominated, they're like, we don't need to teach you about periods, blah, 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 blah. When you do, because when you have sex the first time, you're 50-50 going to bleed.
Or like I said, like, even if you haven't for a while.
Because had sex in a while and then you have sex
a while,
again.
like a long time. It does still hurt. Like, it doesn't just... And also, a vagina is, like, elastic. It can, like, go like that to fit it in and then just go back.
Yeah, like...
So if it's just like that for ages and then something tries to go in, of course he's going to bleed.
Well, yeah, because if you don't have sex for, like, 6 months, when you have sex again, it's going to hurt.
I didn't really want to talk about sex on this, but I just want to give a little bit of credit to boys that do know.
Yeah.
So, like
my boyfriend, thanks.
Our boyfriends, yeah.
Love you.
So, like, with my boyfriend, like he knew a lot more about it than me.
Yeah.
But like he really likes research and.
So they researching girls'
I
periods.
mean, I don't know. Maybe he just got. I don't know. Maybe he was just curious about the female body when he was younger. But it's done me a lot of favours. Like I've bled and I didn't know why, and he like was okay with it. Like he has this thing where he says, like if I've been worried about something, he goes, "I don't think you should worry until I'm worried," and I'm like, okay. So it makes me feel a lot better. So like, every time something happens, I'm like, "Are you worried?" And he's like, "No," and I'm like,
"Worried."
Okay. So the day he says he's worried, I think I'll actually like shit myself on the spot and throw up because it'll be bad. But like yeah, like boys like that, like they like aren't dicks about it. Oh, I'm gonna burp.
Clear my throat. Sorry.
That really smelled. Yeah, like that was kind of my point, like giving them credit because they do know. But then I do get your point, like most schools you don't learn about periods.
Yeah, until you get it pretty much.
So do you prefer pads or tampons?
Pads.
Yeah, I think everyone would say pads. Like no hate to people that like tampons, but I really have a strong dislike to them, and they're just not
I'm
nice.
Just scared.
Like, they're dangerous.
Like what if it gets lost?
Yeah.
You can get yeast infection from them.
You can get toxic shock from them, Maddie. Not just a yeast infection. You can literally die from toxic shock.
Would you use a menstrual cup?
No. Would you?
You have to like...
It's like a weird like silicone thing, and you like fold it in each other, and then you just go...
You have to like...
And then it pops out itself. But then how do you get it out?
I watched Soella do a YouTube video on a menstrual cup.
Oh yeah, because she's...
And you have to like... Is it like I said, you have to like fold it all in, put it up, then it like...
But then
like that.
I can't remember. I think it was I saw it somewhere. I think it might have been an article on people like on Facebook, people commenting, and it was saying like people should start using menstrual cups because they're better for the environment. Fair enough, they are.
Yeah, but you're putting that in your vagina. You can leave it in there for like 16 hours.
Yeah, but then someone said, and it was quite a fair point, and I agree with it. Like, yeah, it is really good for the environment. I understand that, but if you're out in public and you need to take your menstrual cup out, you need to wash it before you put it back in. You can't in a public toilet. So you're going to drip your blood down the toilet, open the door, and then just go, sorry guys, I'm just going to clean my menstrual cup.
But
like,
then
that's gross.
It's all girls, so girls know what you're doing.
But like that is also really disgusting and unhygienic because you won't clean it properly because then...
It's a public
like,
toilet.
Are you going to lose? Are you going to use the soap? Do you know what I mean?
Clean it.
Like it's not very... But then I guess if you can have it in for like ages... I don't know. Pads all the way.
Pads.
And then the last one on pads. How bad were your periods? Because you said you still get them earlier.
Like
before we recorded.
So when I had them when I was on no birth control, I used to have really, really bad cramps. Like they'd be bad. Like I'd be sitting there and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't get up.
Yeah.
It'd be really bad. My skin would break out. They'd be really heavy as well. And then when I went on the pill when I was 16, they literally became really regular. The cramps were still there, but not as heavy. Like they were there.
Like lightened it all a little bit.
Yeah, and obviously I knew when it was coming.
Yeah.
And then now I'm on the implant. It's kind of just blood. Like you don't feel it. It's like...
Is it irregular?
Well, I got the implant back in December, and they say at least for the first 6 or 12 months, your periods can literally be like screwed. So what are we now, May? So first couple of months it was fine. In like February, March it was just like non-stop.
I think
like
I remember
a good
you saying
couple of
that.
weeks. But it's just blood. Like you don't get any cramps. Your skin doesn't really break out. You're literally just bleeding. That's the thing. And then now it's just like once it starts to regulate properly, sometimes they fully stop on the implant. I thought mine were going to stop, but they obviously haven't.
I thought I'm on the mini pill. And I thought mine was going to stop. Like, Gracie was on the mini pill and she said she didn't have any. May was on the mini pill. She was like, I haven't had a period since I started it. And it like stopped straight away. Me, I'm like, I've been bleeding a lot, but then it says when I was like looking it up, you can have your period still, but then you can also have period like bleeding in between, but it's not necessarily period.
Like spotting, that's what I get on the implant.
And that's what's been happening to me. But I still have to use I'll use like a panty liner, not a pad, because it's not that
I love panty
bad.
liners.
I never used to use them, but they are lifesavers.
They're quite cheap
now.
as well.
Yeah.
£1 for like 20 in a box.
I bought ones the other day. Oh, I bought Morrison's. 40p.
40p?
40p for a pack of 40.
That's good.
10p per one.
Quite literally.
Yeah, quite literally, yeah.
Did the maths.
And they're really good.
Yeah.
Like, they don't move that much, whereas, like, other ones, and they're a bit thicker, whereas I had a pack of Always ones that had, like, pink wrapper, and they move too much on the corners.
I get the unbranded panty liners. I think the ones I've got at the moment, they're, like, some brand from Lidl or something, but they're comfy.
They're just the same thing, really. Like,
They do the same job.
Yeah, it does the same thing. It does a job, so pay 40p. Morrison's
40p.
Yeah.
Had it right here from Ellie Pyne.
Got them upstairs, actually. Prepared, waiting, just in case. Okay, now on to contraception. Well, you've just said that you are on contraception.
Yeah.
The implant that you got in December. And how old were you? No, 18.
Yeah, so I went on the pill when I was 16, and then when I was 18 turning 19, that's when I went on the implant.
So did you have to come off the pill? Like, did you have to have a gap?
Yeah, so basically, I decided I wanted to go on it because I was like, I'm getting sick of this pill shit. Like, I've been on it for 3 years now. I can't bother to do it anymore. And I was like, should I just get the implant? Should I just do it? It's going to be so much...
I suppose you had a boyfriend, like, wasn't like for no reason.
And I was like, it's going to be so much less hassle. And I was like, I'm getting scared. What if I actually do get pregnancy scared? Because on TikTok, I kept seeing people on TikTok getting pregnant on the pill that I was on.
Well, see, this is the thing.
And I was like, I'm not having that.
This is the thing, like, I was so against the pill for so long. And like, I was saying to all my friends, like, I'm not going on the pill. I'm not going on the pill. Pull out for the rest of my life or something, whatever. Or, like, condoms, safe sex.
Yeah.
But, like, I was like, no, I'm not going on that because I didn't know about the mini pill, though. I only knew about the combined pill.
That's what I was on, yeah.
And I have not heard good things about it.
It's not nice. It's horrible.
And, like, my main problem was not that I worked really hard for my skin, but like I was on medication for my skin for 2 years to fix it, and I still have it just in case it does flare up again.
Yeah.
So I've been really I was really working on that, trying to get it to like sort of where it is now. It's still not amazing, but it's better than it was. And I was like, I'm not going on the pill just because I'm in a relationship now.
Yeah.
And then like people are emotional. It's because it has it. What does it do? It has an extra hormone in it that makes you really hormonal.
Yeah, and it stops you from having a baby, but it
basically adds extra stuff to you. Whereas the one that I'm on, I was researching it, and it's just the one where you don't take a break, you just take it every single day at the same time. My time's 8:00. And it says in the first 3 months you will get symptoms.
Yeah.
I don't think I've changed that much. I think I'm a little bit more emotional because I feel like I am a bit sensitive recently, but it is almost 3 months. But then obviously maybe it'll last a bit longer, I don't know. And then like the bleeding, like I said, that's a side effect of it, and they said that could be up to 3 months. And your periods could stop. Bearing in mind I had really light periods before, and I've never really had problems with my period. It was always at the same time. I had a little bit of cramps, not terrible, and it was light, and it'd be gone within 5 days. And I started it, so I was like, okay, it was really light, so I'm not gonna have a period anymore. So excited, but I still have a period, but it hasn't been 3 months yet. I can't remember what my point was.
We was talking about, what did I say? I was like, I saw people on TikTok getting pregnant on my pill.
So I was like, I'm not going on the pill because you hear so many horror stories, and then I said it to you. I was like,
I remember,
and I was really proud of myself for this. I was like, yes, like being independent, whatever. But it's just sort of like, if you're thinking of going on the pill, don't not go on it because you hear all these horror stories, horror stories of other people like TikTok or social media, because everyone's body's different. And like, so like I just said, I'm reacting differently to how other people, like college are reacting to it, other girls are reacting to it. So if you want to go on the pill, just try it out, and if you don't like it, you can just come off it.
True.
Like, as simple as that. It's not going to do any harm to you. And just go to a GP and just speak to a GP. Oh, yeah, and I should probably say that we aren't experts, so I can't really tell you.
We're not experts, we're talking from our own self-experiences.
But I would recommend going to your GP and just seeing what's best for you. Although, when I went to the GP for mine, they didn't ask me anything. All they said was, like, they took my blood pressure, and it was traumatizing. I don't like it. I don't like anything to do with doctors.
Yeah.
So I was like this, and the woman was holding my hand. She was like, Ellie, you're doing amazing. You're doing really well. And I was like,
doing very well.
Yeah, and I was like nearly crying because I was getting a blood pressure done.
Yeah.
But that was it. Like, then she just asked like
just questions,
just basic questions, but like she didn't really do much. And I was like, it was that easy. Like, that was a bit worrying. It was that easy. And like, I've not had any checkups. Like, I thought maybe like at the end of the 3 months, because we have to get more.
That's when they do a checkup. What they do is every time you have to get a new prescription, they do your blood pressure. They're like, do you drink? Do you smoke? Do you do this,
she was saying to me, do you smoke? Do you drink? And I was like, well, I drink if I go out.
And then like, how many units a week? And I'm like, babe, I don't know. Not gonna lie to you.
She said, how many you? Like, imagine if I said, I'm an alcoholic. Okay,
no, I'm a drug addict.
Okay, next question. How did you find the right type for you? Like, do you prefer this implant to the pill?
I think I definitely prefer the implant.
Well, I guess you don't have to think about a time every day of taking a pill.
Yeah, I think it was annoying from like January to kind of March because it was just like all over the place. It'd be like I'd look down.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I guess it's also because a lot of hormones are like, it's a shock to your body because it wasn't in there before.
And it's like, I can't remember the exact words, the terms for it, but it's basically shooting out this hormone that's stopping me from having a baby. That's why it's so strong.
Estrogen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stopped me from having a baby. So obviously the first couple of months, because I thought, I was like, I've been on the pill for 3 years. I'm going to be fine. My body's used to birth control. I was wrong, obviously.
It's different types, isn't it?
But when I went to get it done, yeah. So, and then when they actually put it in your arm, the injection hurt, but put in the actual, because it's about this big.
Was it in the GP? Or did you have to go to like the hospital?
I was in the health clinic.
Oh.
So basically when I decided I wanted to switch, because I was like, I've been on the pill for 3 years. I can't bother to take this tiny tablet every morning. And where I was in this relationship where I was obviously quite comfortable, I was getting a bit scared and I was like, I don't want to have a kid, I'm not going to lie. So I was like, I feel like I need to be in some kind of form of stronger.
A bit more security.
Yeah, I was like, I need to be on a stronger birth control at the moment. So what happened was I had run out of my prescription from that pill and I was like, okay, I'm just not going to get a new prescription. I'll get the implant instead of getting a new prescription.
Yeah.
So I called them up and they were like, the health clinic, and they were like, the next appointment, I think it was in like a week. And I was like asking this question. I was like, well, what am I going to do? Like, I'm going to be on no contraception for like a week. And she was like, it's going to be fine. She was like, yeah, you've got to use condom for 7 days before you get the implant and then 7 days after you get the implant.
Well, I suppose you weren't going to be using it anyway because you was constantly bleeding.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, mate. I don't know why I said bleeding, like bleeding.
Bleeding. So then...
I mean, maybe that you did. I don't know. Yeah.
But like, so I came off the pill. So then for like a week I was on nothing and I was like, this feels really great.
Yeah, oh, really?
I was like, this was nice.
Did it not feel weird because 3 years?
It felt better. It was like this weird thing and I was like, a bit happy.
Well, I was listening to a podcast yesterday. It's called Roller Coasting.
Yeah.
By this Scottish girl called Megan.
Right.
Megan Walsh on Instagram. Yeah. And she did an episode about contraception and I was like, oh my God, great, yeah, let's have a podcast about contraception. And she was talking about her experience and she like, oh my God, the roller coaster.
Yeah.
She went on with her contraception, like her pill was unreal.
Really?
Like she had to go on so many different things. She was experiencing hair loss, migraines.
Oh my God.
And they said like the only type of contraception that will be good for her is the coil. And she was like, I don't really want to go on the coil.
I've
like,
heard
it's just
about
a bit.
that. I've got a friend that's got that, but I'm a bit scared.
No, I wouldn't want to do that.
I wouldn't.
And then she had like so much, and she was on it for 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
And then she said, you know what? She was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go on no contraception. I'm going to go like contraception free. And she was like, and it feels amazing.
It does.
She was like, because I've been putting this thing in my body that shouldn't really be in my body.
Yeah.
And now it's not there anymore. Like, I just feel refreshed.
That's
and
the
I was
thing.
like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I feel any different since taking it. Like as in like within my body.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it is just because of my one, like it's not like the combined pill. The combined pill scares me. With all like the hormones and stuff.
I did notice a lot. Like if I look back at old photos of me before I went on the pill, gained weight. My skin before I went on the pill literally used to be
a lot
clear.
of people gain weight on the combined pill.
Yeah, like my skin before the pill, I would have nice clear skin. Since I went on the pill, I'd get oily skin. I started gaining weight so fast. It literally messes with your mood swings so much. So obviously, you're getting natural mood swings on your period, then you're getting pill mood swings. So it's being my period on the pill, it'd literally be like, there'd be days I literally don't want to get up.
It just seems a bit like hell, and it's not a bit of me.
I think the reason I went on it in the first place, I was like, I want regular periods, and I was like, I'm gonna start having sex soon. I'm at that age. Let's be real. I need to be on something.
Yeah. Did you lose your virginity short after taking the pill?
No, I'd already lost it. So yes, that was the reason. So I lost virginity, and I was like,
so did you have a boyfriend?
No.
Oh.
Well, so when I lost virginity, he was my boyfriend at the time.
But I suppose you sort of started your pill for you.
Yeah, because see,
a good thing.
I lost my virginity to my boyfriend at the time, and then that's when I realised, I was like, okay, I should probably go on something now. Like, yeah, we use a condom, but still. And then that's when I went on it. So and then I was on that for 3 years, went on the implant, and I do feel a lot happier. Like, in terms of mood swings, I don't really get them anymore. Like, I'm not as moody as I could get sometimes. I'm not as emotional as I was.
Weird, isn't it? Like how a little thing in your arm, or like the little pill I have is so small.
Yeah, mine used to be about this big. Something like that.
So tiny, I can take it without any water.
Yeah, I used to take
and it's just like, how can that do all of that?
Mess with your body so much.
Because like with, do you know what the mini pill does?
Your one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just take it every day.
But like what it does, like to stop it.
Oh no.
Because it has, I can't remember what it's like the pro-estrogen pill. I think it doesn't give you estrogen, whereas your one does. And I think that's what because it gives you more of the hormone, whereas it doesn't give me it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing with mine. A side effect of that is if some people don't have enough estrogen in them because of everything that's happening in me, it makes you bleed.
Yeah.
And obviously it is the first 3 months my body's probably like deprived of estrogen. I don't know. But like with my one, instead of giving me more estrogen to stop me getting pregnant, it so like where your cervical walls are, I'm pretty sure, or your vaginal walls, there's normally like mucus there.
Yeah.
And the sperm would obviously go in there and sort of cling onto that, I think.
Yeah.
Or like it's sort of a barrier, but it doesn't stop it. Like a lot of people like put their hand in to like feel with the mucus, see how thick it is, to tell if they'll get pregnant or not.
What, in their vagina?
Yeah, like their fertility window, like when they're trying for a baby. I think I've seen like a YouTube video ages ago about that.
Yeah.
But with my one, it like thickens it, so it makes that mucus, which is really disgusting, really thick.
Mucus.
Yeah, really thick. So it literally is like a barrier, like it's like a wall, and it stops anything going in there. So that's what mine does.
Mine's, when I got it done, she explained it to me. I don't exactly remember, not going to lie. But basically, it releases the estrogen hormone to stop me having a baby, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I do feel happier on this. Although it was a pain for like a couple months of like just blood.
I suppose in the long run,
it's going to be better. And obviously it's going to last 3 years. So literally, for 3 years, I literally haven't got to do anything apart from...
have sex.
Yeah. Risk-free.
Yeah.
Because there's literally no chance of me getting pregnant on this implant.
How long do you think... So after the 3 years, will you get it again, do you think? Or... Because in 3 years, you'll be 21?
Probably. Not going to lie to you. Or... I don't know.
Or like, would you... I suppose it kind of depends because like, you could still be in the same relationship. Or like... You probably will be. But like, you might be in the same relationship and like... But you just don't have sex that much. Or you probably do, but then you're like... Actually, I don't want to be on contraception anymore, like the podcast I was listening to. Because she's in a relationship. She's been in a relationship for 6 years. She was like, even though we are still like having sex, there are other ways. And she was also saying like, and I don't think it's right for me as a woman to be protecting him from doing that in me.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So I was like, period, like fair enough. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, do you think you would come off of it to have a break for your body?
I think I'd love to come off it one day. Though, the thing is, I mean, obviously everyone's different, but some people come off the implant straight away and they get pregnant. Some people take some ages. I feel like at the end of 3 years, I'm going to be like 22. I don't know. I'd like to, but I'd
21.
probably...
Not 22, sorry.
Oh, yeah. 21 going on 22. I'd probably have to go on again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 21. I don't want to have kids that young.
Yeah.
And then you can take it out before the 3 years. You can take it out. I could be like, can I have this out of me, please? Like, call them up.
But then I suppose you just might as well just live the full life of it.
This is the thing. I'd probably go on it again. But one day, the day I get to be like, I'm not going on contraception ever again. I'm really excited for that day. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Just be able to say, like, to not go on it ever again. I'm really looking forward to that one day. Obviously, quite a while away.
Oh, yeah. My last question is, how much did you know about your type of contraception before you started
it? So the pill, not really much. I think I just said to my mum, like, I want to go on it to regulate my periods pretty much. And I went there and I remember the nurse I had, she was really horrible. And she was like asking me these questions. It made me feel really uncomfortable. Obviously, my mum was with me, but she made me feel really uncomfortable. She was telling me like all this stuff and I was like, I literally feel scared right now. Like, you're not making me feel comfortable at all.
Yeah.
Because you have to take it after your last period. So I think I was like, well, I haven't had it this month. She's like,
because with that, you've got to like really do it on a schedule.
Yeah, because she was like, have you had your period this month? And I was like, no. She was like, when you have your next one after it, then you can start taking it. And obviously, when you'd go back for prescription, after a while, I just got used to it. But then when I got my implant, the nurse I had, loveliest person I've ever met in my life. I spoke to her on the phone beforehand.
Oh, that's nice.
And then when I actually got there, she was so lovely. She was like, anything you want to know, ask me. She told me absolutely everything. Like, I was asking her so many questions. She was so lovely. And then when I was obviously doing it, so you lay down on your side with your arm like this. Wait, no. Yeah, like this. And she was talking to me the whole time and she was like, it's going to be
making
quick.
Sure you was calm.
She was the loveliest person I've ever met in my life. If she ever watches this, I don't remember your name, but she was a really, really lovely nurse and she made me feel so much better because, see, I was nervous. I'm like, I'm literally getting something in my arm. Like, what if I react really badly? But she made me feel so safe. And afterwards I was like, just got the implant, guys. And obviously you get that bandage. So they put a dressing on it and then the bandage. I went home. My mum was like, have you been to get a tattoo? I was like,
oh, no. Did your mum not know?
No, I just went and done it. And
but then I suppose you was like 18, so you can do what you want.
So she saw the bandage on my arm. She was like, have you got a tattoo? And I was like, no, I've got the implant. She was like, oh. And I was like, I just can't bother to take the pill anymore. She was like, fair enough.
Go queen.
And that was that. And then the bruising. Oh my God, I remember it bruised up really bad. Oh. And I was looking in the mirror. Every day I'd look like, oh my God, there's bruising.
That's it. I think... Yeah, actually, I take back what I said. I don't think I'm ever going to go on the implant. It really scares me.
I was
really scared. Don't like needles.
Well, this is the thing. I was scared about it, but then I think because I had such a lovely nurse and she was basically calmed my nerves, because I knew I was like, I want to get it. Like, I've made a decision to get it, but I'm literally bricking it.
And a few people at college had got it as well, so it's sort of like you can find out by them how it's been. I mean, like I said, everyone's different, but like get a gist of it.
But yeah, I think I'm happy that I'm on it now. I feel better than I did when I was on the pill. Yeah, it was a bit annoying for a couple of months because it was just blood. Even now it'll be like spotting, but not as bad as it was like from kind of middle of Feb to March. It was like 3 weeks worth of just blood. But now it'll just be like a little spot every now and again.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Should I say about mine? I feel like, I mean, not gonna lie, it wasn't even me that did all the research for my pill. It was my boyfriend. But like I said, he really likes research. And like, no. Yeah. I did do research into it. And I was just sort of like, oh, I really don't know. But then that is, again, like, I was like, I think I'm just living through people's like judgment as well. And like just what other people thinking of it. Like, they're against it. Yeah. And I was like, do you know what? They're not the ones taking it. It's me. So it's not like done any harm to me. But like,
this is the thing.
My point was, he did most of the research, but I think, like I said, he likes research. I did a lot, don't get me wrong, like I did do it, but like it was mostly him. And he was like, I think you should go on the mini pill. I think the mini pill would be really good for you.
You should do the mini pill. I think it's really great for you.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't want to take the contraception. Oh my God, not
the combined pill.
The combined pill. I didn't want to take that because of all like the hormones and just the shit in it.
It is horrible.
And you just and there's so many different types of it. Whereas like the mini pill, it's just the mini pill.
This is the thing. The one I was on was called, I don't know how to pronounce it. It was Regividon.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the most popular ones. And I used to see so much hate on it, and people would be like,
people get blood clots and stuff like that.
It's the worst thing.
And I've never heard anything bad about the mini pill.
This is the thing. I feel like the reason I wanted the combined pill in the first place, because I was like, I didn't know about it. I didn't know it was a thing. I only knew the mini pill was a thing when I met Gracie. Shout out to Gracie. Because I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know either.
I didn't know that you could get one where you don't get period. I knew there was the pill, the implant, and the coil.
You don't learn about it in school.
This is the thing. So I just went on the combined pill thing. It's the only pill there was. Looking back on it, if I'd done more research...
Would you have gone on the mini pill?
Probably. I would have liked to, because a combined pill, looking back on the effects it had on me...
Yeah.
It's just horrible. That's why now I'm on the implant, I feel better in myself in that sense.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, so guys, that is the end of this podcast. One of the cameras died, that's why the angle changed. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching and listening, and obviously thank you to my guest Maddie for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed.
I did.
It. If you do want to contact a GP to talk about contraception, then please do, because we are just talking about our experiences with contraception. So this was all about contraception and periods. Hope you enjoyed watching and listening.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Yep, and thank you to the viewers.
Thank you
to you.
Thanks for watching. Great chat.
Hope you enjoyed the chit chat about periods and contraception. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.